Alright, in this video, I'm going to be doing a forecast for the week, what I'm expecting, how I'm going to prepare my week going into the week, and what news events I'm looking at, when I'm going to take action, when I'm going to sit on my hands and do nothing, and then, how I'm going to manage myself around what I see going into this week. So starting off here, we have the weekly news schedule. So we see that on Monday, we have no high impact news. So Mondays for me, not a trading day, I'm not going to be trading. Tuesdays, we have no high impact news. Usually on these days, what we see is that depending on what happens at 9:30, we can see 10 a.m. distribute. So if 9:30 manipulates into a higher time frame key level, or we have some sort of higher time frame FEG or PD rate that gets hit, and we manipulate into it, then 10 a.m. will provide distribution. So how I'll be looking to engage is I'll be waiting to around that 9:40 time to look at the market. I'll wait for like the first 10 minutes of the equities open to happen, and I'll look to position myself in a trade if something manifests going into that 9:45 time. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. And Wednesday we have PPI at 8:30. So again, news, whenever you have high impact news, it's either going to manipulate or it's going to distribute to the drawn liquidity that is in play. So it could be like relative equal lows, it can be session liquidity that's the drawn liquidity. But if we get manipulation with the 8:30 news, then usually what happens is 9:30 provides that distribution, or what happened is 9:30 will manipulate again higher, and then 10 a.m. will distribute, and that's what happens. So based on that, I'm going to be looking to see what happens and position myself accordingly. Again, I'm going to be arriving at the charts around that 9:40 time and looking for the parameters that I look for to enter a trade. Thursday, CPI. So CPI, usually it's very clean after CPI. So I'm going to be looking after that to see which side of the range is swept, for the data highs and data lows of that candle, that 8 a.m. candle. I'm going to be looking for the highs and lows to get swept and then see what happens after that. And that's what I'm going to be performing and going into that day. Now Friday, we have 10 a.m. consumer sentiment. So again, it's the same process every single day when we're looking for where the liquidity is, where we're at, what intra-week market maker buy or sell model is in play, and I'm going to look to position myself. All right, so a big part of how I trade is looking at the weekly profile and what's likely to happen. So looking at this news, I'm anticipating that we're probably going to have a Tuesday or Wednesday make the anchor point for the week, which what that means is that basically I'm expecting the low or high of the week to form then on Tuesday or Wednesday, seeing that we have no news Monday and Tuesday, and then Wednesday we have high impact news. I'm looking for the high or low of the week to be in by then, and then Thursday and Friday to range expand in the direction. So that is basically what I'm looking for with this news, since we have more so the late week news for the schedule. And now I'm going to go into the charts. So looking at the charts, what I see is that we have the order block that I've been continuously watching with an NQ. See, we closed above these highs, previous monthly highs here, and we expanded lower. Now what we've been doing over the past couple weeks is consolidating within this range, from the 23,000 level all the way to around the 23,800 level. This is the range that we've been in, and we haven't broken out of the range. So what I'm looking for going into this week is if price is showing a willingness to respect, this 50% here of this order block still, and if we're getting closes above this daily candle or not. If we do get a close above this 50% of the daily candle, or if we don't get a close above the 50% of this daily candle, then I'm expecting that price is going to want to trade lower into the range. If we do close above this 50% of this large order block candle, then I'm expecting price to go back to all-time highs and take out this high right here. Okay, this is a previous weekly high, and I'll expect that to be the drawn liquidity if we show willingness to get above here and close above this 50% here. So going into the 1 hour, we've seen that on Friday we have large displacement lower, and now we've been trading up higher, and we just opened up for the week, so price is trading higher already. So what I'm anticipating is if we're going to be bearish and if price is going to continue lower, then I would want to see this, this order block on this time frame. This is an order block. I want to see again 50% respected here. If from the open to the 50%, I want a reaction for us to go lower. If not, then price is going to push higher, and then we could potentially see price go higher, and this to be used as a breaker block. All right, so that's basically what I'm anticipating going into the week. It's really 50-50 right now. I don't try to predict too early onto the week what price can do unless it's really clear, but I want to wait, and I'm pretty sure that midweek around Wednesday I should have a clear direction of where price is likely to go, if it's likely to go higher or lower, and that's when the high probability trading will happen. So yeah, that's why you don't want to be engaging too early on Monday, because a lot of times it's not really clear where price is likely to go. You can get chopped up, you can lose money, and it's really just building a range for the rest of the week. So you want to be waiting until Tuesday, Wednesday, and by then you will be able to know which direction of the market is likely to go in, and then you can position yourself likely. The reason why a lot of people fail is because they try to look at just trading entries, and they look for FEG, to enter off of, without any narrative or any framework for their trading. You get the narrative and the framework from the higher time frames, and based off of what price is doing and the weekly profiles and what price is looking like it's going to do with the order flow and higher time frame, that gives you more conviction of taking that lower time frame entry fractal. So it's not just about knowing the 2022 model, it's about knowing how the 2022 model fits into the overall bigger picture and the bigger puzzle that price is showing you on the higher time frames. So just like last week, I wasn't looking for price to just form a 2022 model just by itself or a buy within Friday, because I'm not looking for price to expand higher. I know that we just hit previous weekly high, we have a key liquidity pool, and based on the reaction on the lower time frame, that shows me what price is going to do. So price traded to it, and it basically failed to expand, it's outdated, and then started expanding lower. So yeah, that's how I'm going to be positioning myself this week, and I hope you enjoyed this forecast for the week. I'm going to be updating the community, and just going to be in the community tab, just updating people with what I'm expecting for the weekly analysis, and then how I'm going to position myself. All right, have a good trading week. See y'all.